Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and we're doing the star sign of September for water signs. We are doing Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Sun, Moon or Rising, because I felt that we've just come out of a watery moon in Aquarius and we're going into a watery moon in Pisces, so I figured this was the right time to do this reading. The first card I pulled was the moon, which rules Pisces. What looks one way in a certain light will look another way in another light. She's holding a harp, but when you look in the water, it becomes a guitar. So it's saying that what looks to be or appears to be a certain way will look in another way, a different way. And you need to learn your discernment techniques on how to decipher what is actually real and what's an illusion. People with Pisces in their chart tend to work with media. They work in the news, they work in film, and so their job is to create illusions, or they put on a false mask. It's also talking about maybe some of you may need to see a psychic medium in order to understand what your next movement forward is. And so maybe you need to consult with someone who's spiritually minded, like a priest or priestess, or you visit a monastery or a spiritual church like I've done in the last week and a half and get some insight. They do flower readings where I go, spiritual church. The next thing is saying that you're trying to flush out some things from your energy. So maybe you picked up on someone's energy from a place that you used to live at. It's very easy when you're a psychic medium or you are an empath to pick up on all the energies of the entire house. And the only way I found a way around this is to wear gloves. It's becoming that severe that I can no longer use the washing machine where I live because I'm picking up on everyone else's energy. So I'm hand washing, and sometimes that's a good way to make sure you're washing your clothes properly, because washing machines don't always clean things expertly. I feel if you soak clothes in solutions of disinfectant, lavender, which I'm soaking my stuff in, and washing liquid, you will get a better result and stains will remove themselves and no one else has touched your clothes. And you don't have the problem of clothes shrinking in the rinse cycle when it's on a certain degree or temperature. So sometimes it's better to soak clothes to remove proteins from your clothing that can cause COVID. And that's what I found worked better when I lived in a shared house facility, that I would wash or soak my clothing and then hang it outside so I wouldn't be in contact with the washing machine at all and not taking on other people's germs. So just word to the wise, if you're sharing, try and do hand washing. The star talks about reassessing our lifestyle choices, our food, our clean living, how to exercise and find a happy medium, fitness programs, dietary things that you're trying to follow, ways to get our bodies really healthy, keto diets that go well with our general makeup. Some diets work better than others, and water signs, because we're so emotional, sometimes we need to remove certain things if we're hypersensitive to fabrics and things. So you may have allergies to certain things. I know I have got Scorpio, Pisces, Moon. My son is a Scorpio and he's highly allergic to things, anaphylactic like I am. And we find that we're highly allergic to things, situations and people. And so, because he's asthmatic and eczema child, we did the process of diet elimination a long time ago, and he actually got better by not eating meat, by doing lots of chicken and fish, and in supplementing his diet with meat sometimes, but mostly chicken and fish. And he seems to work better off those types of foods because he's anaphylactic, like me, and his diet is very raw, and he buys a lot of salmon, and he works better with salmon. I work better with chicken because I'm allergic to seafood, but he's not, so that's a good thing. But he functions better without meat, because meat's highly processed. It takes a long time to break it down in the body. It takes 3 days. Whereas fish and chicken, there's a lot shorter time frame to break it down. I'm good with tuna, but I can't do salmon. So he's good with salmon. I can't do salmon. So you're looking at dietary needs. In the past, you've got someone around you who was an Aquarian, Libra or Gemini star sign. They're quite fiery, they're quite feisty, and with Aquarian energy, you may even have it in your chart. We always look to amethyst to help balance that, because amethyst is all about intuition and calming the mind. So you may have a very active mind that goes exploring when you're asleep, like I do. When you're an Aquarian and you are open to things, you tend to explore things when you're asleep on the astral plane. So it's saying that you're very inquisitive, you love information, but you also might find it difficult to hear what people have to tell you, and speaking the truth with kindness. You may want to fight for your rights, you want to fight for a cause, animal rights, or an activist for people's rights. That's all part of the Aquarian thing. And both sons and myself have Aquarian in our charts, and we like to stand up for the underdog. So that's you. You can be very blunt, and that may offend a lot of people, but at least they know where they stand with you. And I think that's the best way to be, because that way no one gets confused. In the past, you had to leave a situation, a major life change. You may have had to move state, country, or, move a state or a country. And so that was upending and very nerve-wracking, and this may have not been your choice and forced upon you because of circumstantial things related to Princess of Swords, and you had to go along with it even though you didn't want to. There's also a bit of a problem, a bit of a tug-of-war about who dictates on what you do with your life. You may have people's input that is well-meaning, parent or grandparent, who wants the best things for you, but it might not necessarily harmonise with what your heart wants to do. So if you listen to your head, your heart gets ignored. And so you need to listen to your heart, because your heart will sing the truest song that is in your heart. So whatever gels with you on an emotional level, you should listen to that. And there's a tug of war between the heart and the mind at the moment. And then you've got the Nine of Cups. This is to do with wishes coming true by writing down what you want on a piece of white paper and putting it under the light of the moon or under a crystal, which happens to be a quartz crystal. You open up your possibilities, which I've got these crystals, and all these crystals come from Beaumont Street, Hamilton, Rainbow Runner. My friend Adrian runs the store. He sources them from all over the world. I was told to get hematite to ground me. So far, that's not worked. I'm trying foods to ground me, but I'm just so out there, it's not funny. I don't think I can shut it off, so I don't know what to do with that. But hematite's apparently really good for grounding. We've got the Six of Swords. This is to do with wanting to travel over waters, to relocation, from a cold climate to a warm climate. So you may be looking at relocating to another city or state that's warmer than what you're used to. And then you have around you the Queen of Cups. This is Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy. She's a nurse. She has a lot of sunflowers around her because she's very busy trying to look after everyone. And she's very loving and emotional, intuitive, and will know and see long before you know and see what is going on for you. She may be a healer or a nurse or a disability support worker, but she's around your energy at the moment. There is a separation from family members or certain people that you really want to reconnect with, and that's because of distance, not because of choice. So this separation may have come out of a court case or a legal battle or a family situation which you're trying to remedy, or people are trying to remedy on your behalf. And you've got the High Priestess. So this is talking about someone who is a priest, priestess, church leader, government official. What else can I say? She could be a light worker, a spiritual advisor, as in the spiritual church, they have people that are mediums and mediumship. You may be dealing with someone in your direct conversation maybe your mum or your grandmother who is a psychic medium. And if you want advice, you need to go to them because they will find the answers for you. They will have the answers. And so what they guard is intuition. So I've brought lapis, which helps to magnify people's intuition. And so if you're wearing the colour blue, it's a Monday. White or blue is a good way to invoke intuition. It's Moon's Day. It's a free-flowing day. It's like a Sunday. If you have a problem with a neighbour, or you're scared of being stolen from, I was reading a book by Lucy Cavendish, and this deck is by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. It's called, and of course the box is falling apart, Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine, the Fairy Tarot deck. I'm also reading from Wisdomm of the Oracle by Colette-Baron-Reid, and the Fairy Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, and artwork by Selina Fenech, and the Enchanted map by Colette-Baron-Reid. And so I've been reading up on how to protect or consecrate a special space, how to change energy, because I've just moved to a house or a unit that's obviously someone else occupied. So they told me to light a candle, white and black and red. White is to clear the space, black is to get rid of negativity, and red is for love. And then they said if you're worried about being stolen from, to immerse a smoky quartz in some water with a stopper. And I put that at the front of my door in order to stop anyone stealing from me, psychically, energetically, or online. Because you don't want to steal someone's stuff, because it's not your stuff. You want to produce your own stuff, your own creativity. You don't want to steal someone else's energy. That's not yours. You need to create something anew. So the next deck I'm going to pull is from the Enchanted map by Colette-Baron-Reid. This is a way to consecrate what I'm doing. See what we can find. So being a psychic medium has its challenges, because I'll enter a room and I'm picking up on everyone's energy, including where I wash my clothes. It becomes very hectic in my space when I'm sleeping, because I'm absorbing people's energy from things that I touch. So I'm looking at doing gloves permanently, so I don't pick it up. I really don't want to read someone else's energy. I really don't want to invoke that. I don't want that personal stuff that I really don't want to read. It's like you're giving advice that is unsolicited. I won't do that. But I don't know how to switch what I do off. So if someone can help me with this, that'd be great. But at the moment, I have no idea. I tried the spiritual church and they go, oh, meditation, but that's not even working. And so I don't sleep because I'm seeing stuff for future events, and it's draining. I'm tired. I don't know how to switch it off. So this is the deck that's a clarifier. I bought some plants because they say if you can keep a plant, then you can keep a man, apparently. Into the unknown. Yeah, that's again looking for the answers. That's what I'm doing. I'm in the dark. I've got my blinders on. I don't see stuff until I'm asleep, or I get them energetically throughout the day on people that I run into or have some sort of connection to or have some sort of feeling to. It's not that I want to have feelings for them. I develop them, and then I have to then tell them I see stuff for them. Because why would I not? Why would you not want to warn someone about stuff that is going through? So ancestors are around you. You may have people coming through for people that have already passed over and want to give messages to their existing grandchildren. So I was reading from my mother's best friend's son who's got special needs. And so I saw his grandmother 2 nights ago. And I'm like, okay, so that's interesting. And he was telling me that he wanted to talk to his grandmother because he got on better with her than his own mum. I had to say it. I had to tell it. And so he got the message because I wanted him to get the message because it was a real thing. 1. Bone collector. When the bone collector appears, she's asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. When we're troubled and we're wounded, when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a particular version of the truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way. What we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by a perception of limitation. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable or expect to be criticised. No matter what you question, the bone collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you in the reclaim. You have everything you can to reclaim it now. The wounds of the past does not define you now. And being in the dark, which apparently we all are, is talking about an adventure. And often, new opportunities will arise when you won't know how to deal with them. This is one of those times you're required to trust that this new phase will reveal wonders and miracles as you step into the unknown territory. Imagine that you are not only a pathfinder, but a path maker and shaper. Whatever you inquire, trust that you'll be safe. Stay aware as you discover new and marvellous territories and valuable treasures. So you're probably being the initiator, the person that is starting something that no other member of the family has ever done before. You're going in places that they haven't gone before. So you're the trailblazer. That's my word for it. And so we're doing the Fairy Oracle, Wisdomm of the Fairy Oracle by Lucy Cavendish and artwork by Selina Fenech. So you may be a trailblazer for this lifetime so that the next lifetime doesn't have to suffer from previous lifetimes of oppression and degradation, being degraded, and abuse, violence, domestic violence. You may be standing up for those people so it doesn't continue into the next version of your children's children. So they won't carry that burden and they will not live the life that you lived. And they will stand up for themselves and be accounted for and want to find a partner that respects them and treats them well. And that pattern will not be repeated. So you're breaking an entire generational cycle of events and situations that should have been addressed many years before. And because of the assault on the Aboriginal people and the whites and the blacks having issues, this may have been a result of generational curses, generational values and value systems, and so that's now broken because we're in 2022. So you are actually rewriting the storybook. That's what I see. These cards are really big to shuffle. Here we go. Mother and daughter. You are healing a mother and daughter bond. Perhaps a mother and daughter were separated due to domestic violence, and so their relationship suffered, and the daughter picked up the slack of the mother because she had mental health. I'm just giving a scenario. And now they're able to heal that relationship because they are now no longer together, the mother and the father. So they are able to be a normal mother and father in a home situation. And you may be put in a place, a special place where you can heal. Maybe you've come out of a very traumatic, like I have, situation in a shelter and you're still recovering from that. It's saying you're recovering and you're doing well. You were doing very, very well because you're out of that situation. So we've got 41. Mother and daughter, mothering, teaching, sharing knowledge, nurturing self-worth. Time to spend an afternoon with your parents or children or grandchildren to take them somewhere natural and teach them gently the ways of the fairy world. Do this through connection with the earth and what springs from her, the sky and what flies through her, the sea and what swims beneath, and the fiery sun and what grows from her power. Yes, indeed, the sun is goddess too. Think of Grian, the Irish dragon fae, The sun is goddess too, or solar energy. Think about how to teach your children how to be themselves, offering opportunities for natural wisdom. Offer to spend time with children teaching meditation, flower, law, nature loving, and animal wisdom, and let your mother and father know you think of them and care for them and thank them for their teachings in whatever form they came. Love your children and know they are the most important teachers ever. And so my grandmother went through an entire encyclopedia in her head. She knew every plant alive, and from that teachings, I was always very interested in natural therapies and natural plant therapies, and I still to this day take tonics from Visionary Health over medication, because I believe in natural therapies over medications. Sometimes we need medications to treat something that's, it needs immediate attention, but then gradually they wean you off that and they want to put you on a natural therapy line of thinking. So I have a tincture that I'm using and it helped get me well through COVID, which had bacterial, germicidal conditions called geranium oil, which can completely kill the virus in my body. And I treated 5 people in the house I lived at with the same antidote, and it killed off the virus. So you may need to boost up your immune system with antibacterial or antiviral concoctions. I'm even thinking of an immune booster. I know that I have a compounding pharmacist called Bart that works with me that does and makes up A, C, and E, or echinacea vitamins through, he makes it in a compound, and that helps boost the immune system to fight off infection and disease. And that's the key. That's what people with autoimmune disorders or Crohn's disease even needs to look at in order to boost their immune system, because it's a depressed immune system. So looking at plant medicine like mistletoe, there's a thing called Rescue Remedy which has mistletoe in it and cures cancer, which Olivia Newton-John was taking before she died. She died from complications, not because of the cancer, but because of secondary complications. But all the medications that her husband was giving her was plant-based and natural therapy-based, and it really helped her. And she was also a practicing Scientologist. So you need to look at your plants and how you activate and treat things with natural therapies. Lavender is the best ingredient I can ever suggest if you're a stress head like me and you need something to calm your nervous or adrenal system down. Lavender or rose. Put in the shower or in the hair, body wash. Gillette does a nice body wash that's rose based. Will calm your adrenals and make you sleep better and make you unwind without a medication. So compounding pharmacists are your friend right now. And I believe how we get rid of COVID is to look at the basics and go back to our plant therapies, because those are the things that will get us through COVID. Hopefully this is for someone out there who needs this reading. We need to go to natural therapies, and hopefully this will help treat your condition. Thank you.